Doctors Today. Remarkable new discoveries in the world of medicine. Have dentists discovered the reasons why most teeth decay? Is there a way of preventing most of the decay in children's teeth? Can tooth decay be prevented by toothbrushing? For the answers to these questions, listen to the program which follows. The American Medical Association, in cooperation with the National Broadcasting Company and its independent affiliated stations, presents Doctors Today, a weekly report on the progress of medical science. This week, a report on the progress of dentistry in America. We first hear Dr. William W. Bolton speaking for the American Medical Association. Dr. Bolton.
Unless you get rid of the fire hazards in your home, someday the fire department may arrive too late to save your house. If you neglect your teeth until you have a toothache, you will probably lose at least one tooth and perhaps several. This is a serious mistake. Most people do not realize what an important part sound teeth play in the health of the entire body. During the past 20 years, American dentistry has made tremendous progress. At least one cause of tooth decay has been discovered. Dentists now believe that they have a way to prevent much tooth decay. The prospect of conquering this most common of all human diseases was never brighter. Unfortunately, most of us have some very confused ideas about these new developments in dentistry. In order that you may know the truth, we present the dramatic story of a dentist, a physician, and a human dynamo named Mark Scott.
What do you know about fluoride or sodium fluoride? Not much, I suppose, unless you happen to be a chemist, physician, or a dentist. I didn't either, but I learned the hard way. You see, I'm Mark Scott, president of the Orville Chamber of Commerce. You've probably heard of Orville. It's one of the healthiest and prettiest little cities in this country. You never heard of it? Well, you will, because we're really putting that town on the map. But to get back to fluoride, I first heard of it when I hopped the morning train for Chicago and ran into a certain party who's the president of the Chamber of Commerce over in Midvale.
Well, this is a surprise. And remember me? I'm Joe McCarthy, president of the Chamber of Commerce over in Midvale.
Yes, I remember you. How are you, Joe?
Fine. Put your bag in the rack and sit down.
Well, all right.
How are things over in the little suburb?
Huh? Orville, a suburb of Midvale? That's good. Very funny. The only thing is we're bigger than you are by almost 1,000.
Oh, that's what you say. Here, have a cigar.
Thank you.
Mark, I know where you got your figures, but they're all wrong. It's just the other way around. Midvale leads by almost 1,000. Are you still president of the Chamber of Commerce over there?
Yeah, I tried to duck the job this year, but they wouldn't let me. Civic duty, you know.
Oh, of course. Say, what's happened to you people over in Orville? What's become of that old fighting spirit?
What are you talking about?
Sports, for one thing. Your high school team didn't make a very good showing against Midvale.
Which team?
Well, take any team you like. Football, basketball, or baseball. You haven't won a game in a long time.
Oh, well, we had a bad year against Midvale, but if we must lose, we'd rather lose to our traditional rival.
Who are you kidding, huh? Say, where are you going? Chicago?
Yeah, little business trip.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to Chicago, too. Maybe we're both going to call on the same prospect.
Not much chance of that. Chicago's a pretty big town.
Are you on business for your Chamber of Commerce?
Oh, in a way, yes.
I thought so. Evidently, you heard the same rumor that I heard.
What rumor are you talking about?
That a certain corporation is about to build a big plant down in our vicinity.
Oh, that. Yes, it does seem to me that I've heard about it.
Heard about it.
Okay, you win.
You and I are going to call on them, aren't we, Mark? Be a big thing for us to land a plant like that, wouldn't it?
Like what?
Century Products. Mark, I'm sorry, but your town doesn't stand a chance.
What makes you think we don't?
Because Century is naturally interested in the health of its employees. Midvale people are so much healthier than Orville people that, well, there's no comparison.
Now, just a minute. You can't get away with a statement like that.
Oh, can't I? I've got the figures from our State Board of Health. Those poor children you raise over in Orville. No wonder they can't compete with us in sports. They have a lot more mumps, measles, chickenpox, and polio than our kids.
Let me see those figures.
I will not. Go get your own set of figures if you want to present them, but let me promise you one thing. I am using data from your own health commissioner.
Dr. Palmer?
Yes. What's wrong over in Orville? Why are you so unhealthy?
I don't know where you got hold of those figures.
I've already told you. From the State Board of Health, based on reports made by your Dr. Palmer and our Dr. Smith.
Well, something's wrong somewhere, and I'm going to find out how you're taking unfair advantage of us.
Mark, do you know that there is 3 times as much tooth decay among your children in Orville as there is among our children?
3 times?
That's what I said. 3 times. And I've got the statistics to back me up. Out of every 100 children in Midvale, dentists find 2.5 cavities per child. In Orville, it's 7.5 cavities per child.
Why, that's ridiculous.
Oh, is it? Ask your own health officer. Your Dr. Palmer. Go ahead.
This is impossible. Somebody's juggling figures.
The figures are the result of a survey conducted by dentists in Orville and Midvale, my friend.
3 to 1? Impossible.
Sorry, but your own dentist will back me up on that statement.
Would you mind telling me what you've got in Midvale that we haven't got that's good for teeth?
Certainly. We have fluorine in our water, and you haven't.
What's that again? Fluorine?
That's what I said.
How come?
Well, it's all very simple, Mark. We draw our city water from deep artesian wells. That water contains 1 2/10 parts per million of fluorine, which good old Mother Nature provides naturally in our vicinity. You see?
Yeah? And so what?
Orville, which brags about the water it pumps out of the lake, has water which contains practically no fluorine.
Is this fluorine the stuff that's supposed to reduce the amount of tooth decay?
Why, of course. Where have you been?
Oh, I knew there was something like that, but I didn't know the name of it. Read it somewhere in the newspaper.
You see, we keep up to date on these things over in Midvale, and we have the facts, proving that we have far better health conditions than you folks. Mark, if I were you, I wouldn't even bother to present the story of Orville to a progressive corporation like Century Products.
Listen, Joe. Figures don't lie, but liars figure. You've got your thumb on the scale somewhere. Yes, and I'll trip you up. And when I do, look out. I was so baffled by all those high-powered figures that Joe McCarthy threw at me that I was a nervous wreck by the time we reached the offices of the Century Corporation. My morale was not good. I saw I had 10 minutes before we went in to present our case, so I called Dr. Palmer a long distance. Hello?
I have Dr. Palmer now. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Dr. Palmer?
Yeah. Hello, Mark. What can I do for you?
Dr. Palmer, I'm at a meeting here in Chicago where the Century Corporation is going to decide whether to build a new plant near Midvale or just outside our town.
Yeah?
But the man from Midvale says that our health conditions are not as good as theirs.
But that's not true.
What he claims that during the last year we've had a lot more mumps, measles, chickenpox, and polio than they have.
Well, yes, that's correct. Not a lot more, but there is a difference in their favor.
And he says that Midvale children have only 1/3 as much tooth decay as our children.
Well, yes, that's true, but it's due to the difference in the water supply.
That's all I wanted to know, Dr. Palmer. Goodbye. own health officer had backed up the figures that were being presented to the Century Corporation by Joe McCarthy. I sat there helpless while he drew the comparison between Midvale and Orville and made our nice modern town sound like the slums of Shanghai. Finally, I was given my chance, and I talked about our parks and playgrounds, our wide streets and modern homes. But I knew he had me. Finally, I begged for time to answer his statistics, and they decided to postpone their decision for a week. A $10 million industry that would either go to Midvale or to Orville. I caught the next train back home. That night, my poor wife had to listen to me, and I was fighting mad.
But, Mark, you haven't lost yet. They're still willing to let you prove that Joe McCarthy was playing with what you call loaded dice.
Sure, I stall for time, but when I go back, what can I tell them?
Tell them the truth about Orville.
But, Mildred, when I talked to Dr. Palmer, he admitted that we have had a lot more measles, mumps, chickenpox, and polio than they've had in Midvale.
Well, I didn't know that.
And he agreed that our children have 3 times as many cavities in their teeth as the kids in Midvale.
Oh, I don't believe it.
If McCarthy is right, then our physicians and dentists are at fault. Looks to me as if they've been letting us down. Bad enough that we'll lose a $10 million industry to Midvale, but what's even worse, our own children aren't even getting a square deal.
Mark, you'd better take this up with Dr. Palmer tomorrow morning.
You think not? He's going to see me in his office at 8:30, and he'd better have the right answers, or I'll make the facts public. What's the use of having modern schools and fine playgrounds if you can't keep children healthy? I couldn't sleep that night thinking about it. And the next morning, I could hardly wait until 8:30 to put Dr. Palmer on the spot.
Good morning, Mr. Scott.
Morning. I have an appointment with Dr. Palmer.
Yes, he's waiting for you. Go right in.
Well, good morning, Mark. What's the good word?
Hi, Doctor. I hope you won't think that I'm picking on you personally, but this is a bad situation.
Well, Mark, you talk so fast over the phone, you had me confused. What's this all about?
Why are the children of Midvale healthier than our children in Orville?
Well, they're not. In fact, in some ways, ours have a little the best of it.
But you admitted that we've had more mumps, measles, chickenpox, and polio.
Oh, well, if you make a comparison on the basis of last year, our rate is slightly higher, yes. But over a period of 10 years, we have a lower incidence of these diseases than Midvale.
Why, that polecat, he pulled the wool over my eyes.
Who are you talking about?
Joe McCarthy, president of their Chamber of Commerce.
Mark, I noticed that he didn't pick the diseases for which we can provide immunity with vaccination and the use of serums. What did he have to say about whooping cough, diphtheria, scarlet fever, smallpox?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm. Our rate is lower on all of these diseases.
Oh, that skunk. Now, we're getting somewhere. Will you get those figures together so I can present them to the Century Corporation?
Of course. Charts, graphs, everything. Why didn't you come to me in the first place?
How should I know that he'd play dirty pool? But, Doctor, what's all this about our children having 3 times as much tooth decay as their children?
Well, that's true because their water supply provides fluorine. Ours doesn't.
Isn't there anything we can do about that?
Yes, we can provide fluorine for our children's teeth also.
How?
Mark, do you know the president of our county dental society, Dr. Milo Archer?
Why, of course, he's our family dentist.
All right. Why don't you go ask him that question?
I certainly will. You know, Doctor, I've got a hunch that Joe McCarthy started something he can't finish. If he wants to play the game of truth or consequences, we'll get the truth, and he can take the consequences. Now I knew that Joe McCarthy was deliberately hiding the facts, so I wasted no time. That afternoon, I was able to get an appointment with Dr. Archer, and we went right into this whole question of tooth decay. He told me some surprising facts about fluorine.
Mark, you want the whole picture, don't you? Not just a few facts to present to that corporation up in Chicago?
Yes, I wish you'd set me straight on a lot of things. Is it true that a clean tooth never decays?
It's only partly true. A clean tooth is less apt to decay. Brushing the teeth helps to prevent decay by removing food particles. But even though it's done properly after each meal, brushing alone will not prevent tooth decay.
Do you dentists know why teeth decay?
Yes, we know that tooth structure is destroyed by acids which form in the mouth as a result of fermentation caused by the action of bacteria on carbohydrates, principally sugars found in certain foods and beverages which we consume.
Would there be less tooth decay if we ate less sugar?
No question about that, Mark. Our children are eating too much sugar, and it's causing a lot of tooth decay.
Well, now, what about this fluorine?
If the teeth receive fluorine in the proper amount, it will prevent 40 to 50% of tooth decay in the children up to the age of 15.
Will these children's teeth decay after they grow up?
There will be some decay, but much less than if they had not received fluorine.
What's the right amount of fluorine?
From 1 to 1 5/10 parts fluorine per million parts of water. In other words, a small drop in a great big bucket of water.
Okay. Now, why are the kids in Midvale getting fluorine in their drinking water?
Well, in some parts of the country, fluorine occurs naturally in the water supply. Sometimes there's too much of it, and this results in what we call mottled enamel or pitted and discolored teeth. Midvale happens to have 1 2/10 parts per million of fluorine in their drinking water, which, of course, is ideal.
Couldn't we put fluorine in our drinking water?
Oh, yes. That's been done in a number of communities to demonstrate how effective such a procedure is. But it'll take a few more years before we can be sure exactly how it works.
Couldn't we do it here in Orville?
Oh, yes. But it would be better to wait until the tests now underway are completed, Mark. I advise waiting until we're sure it's effective.
Is there some other way of using the fluorine?
Oh, yes. The youngster's teeth can be treated in his dentist's office.
Well, why in the dentist's office?
Well, because the teeth must first be cleaned and dried and the fluoride solution properly applied if the treatment is to be effective.
I get it. How often does a youngster need this treatment?
In order to protect the first teeth as well as those that come in later, a series of 4 treatments should be given at the ages of 3, 7, 10, and 13.
And this works just as well as the fluorine that appears naturally in the water supply.
Oh, yes. We know it to be a scientific fact as shown by experiments on hundreds of children.
In other words, there's no reason why our youngsters shouldn't have just as healthy teeth as those kids over in Midvale.
No reason in the world, if their parents will bring them around for the application of fluorine.
That's all I wanted to know. I'm now ready to give Mr. Joe McCarthy a dose of his own medicine.
Well, what kind of medicine is he using?
He's been putting out truth serum in small doses. Now he is going to get a large dose of same. When you set out to get all the facts that explain why a city is doing a good job of protecting the health of its citizens, you will soon be up to your ears in statistics. But all of a sudden, the cold, dry figures come to life. And people are either living or dying because of what is being done or not being done. I sent my spies over to Midvale, and they came back with some amazing facts. A few nights later, Mildred found me chuckling gleefully to myself, and she said,
"Oh, Mark, it's nearly 2:00. Aren't you coming to bed?"
No, you run along. I still have a lot to do.
Last week it was your income tax. This week it's a lot of pies and charts and graphs. What are you trying to prove?
I'm not trying any longer. I've already proved it, at least on paper.
Oh, you have? And what does it all add up to?
Midvale is a very backward community run by a bunch of conniving politicians. Orville is a progressive community that is ideally located for a $10 million industry.
Oh, I wouldn't say Midvale was backward. Some of my best friends live in Midvale Heights.
Are you acquainted with the sewage system in Midvale Heights?
Oh, Mark.
Well, I am, and it's a disgrace. Have you visited the cemetery in Midvale?
Yes, it's beautiful. Such nice evergreens.
I know, but too many people are being buried over there.
What do you mean?
Their death rate is a bit higher than it should be. You been in their hospital?
Yes, it's very nice, but rather small.
Too small for a city that size. We're way ahead of them on the number of hospital beds per capita.
Per capita?
Per person.
Oh, yes, I see what you mean.
Now, you run along to bed, darling. I'm really getting my teeth into this situation.
Oh, speaking of that.
What?
Your teeth. Did you make an appointment with Dr. Archer the other day?
For what?
To have your teeth checked over.
Oh, no. Which reminds me, make an appointment with Dr. Archer for Jimmy. Fluorine application.
All right, and I'll make one for you, too, if you don't mind.
Two days later, I was back in Chicago at the offices of the Century Corporation. This was to be the final hearing, and it was clear that the new plant would be located either east of Midvale or west of Orville. I made my talk, and to give the devil his due, McCarthy came up with a fine talk on Midvale. Now I knew that the score was about even, and the time had come to pull my secret play. Mr. Andrews, the president of Century Products, turned to me and said,
"Well, Mr. Scott, have you anything more to say about Orville?"
"No, but with your permission, I'd like to ask Mr. McCarthy a few questions."
Mr. McCarthy, do you mind answering a few questions that Mr. Scott wants to ask?
I will be glad to answer any questions from my good friend and neighbor.
Go ahead, Mr. Scott.
I would first like to congratulate Mr. McCarthy on his fine presentation of facts about the beautiful little city of Midvale.
Thank you.
As Mr. Andrews has made clear to us, this plant will increase the population of any community by about 25,000.
Yes, I think he made that very clear.
You are familiar with the watershed that brings you that fine fluorine water.
Yes, our engineers have given us a full report.
I understand that during the drought last summer, you were obliged to borrow more than half your water from Orville.
Well, yes, but that situation was temporary. We now have far more water than we need.
But when you dig another 40 wells to provide for the new homes in Midvale, will you still have plenty?
I think so. But we can always borrow water from our neighbors in Orville, can't we?
Well, you've made such a point of how wonderful your water is in preventing tooth decay. Would you ask your new residents to accept our measly old drinking water?
Your question is based on an emergency situation. Ordinarily, Midvale has enough water to support a population of 150,000.
According to my report, you borrowed water from Orville in the summers of 1928, 34, 37, 42, 45, and 47. Seem to run a little short at times for a population of 100,000, let alone a population of 150,000.
New wells will take care of that.
Now, Mr. McCarthy, surely your engineer told you that you can only get all the water that's in the watershed, no matter how many wells you drill. Too bad that you need to borrow water that doesn't contain fluorine.
We can correct that situation by putting in a fluorine mixing plant.
So can we, Mr. McCarthy, but if you mix impregnated water with some water that already contains fluorine, you may get too much, and that would result in children with mottled teeth, wouldn't it?
Well, I'm not familiar with that.
I am. I'll be glad to give you the facts.
Mr. Andrews, I'm sure that Century Products won't choose between Midvale and Orville entirely on a basis of the amount of fluorine in our water supplies.
Of course not, Mr. McCarthy. Have you any more questions, Mr. Scott?
Yes. How many hospital beds do you have in Midvale, Mr. McCarthy?
Well, we already have plans to build a new hospital.
When?
As soon as we can raise the money.
And that may take quite a while, huh?
Well...
you have a new hospital already under construction, don't you, Mr. Scott?
Oh, yes. Orville will have a new 250-bed hospital in May.
Very good.
I'm sure we can have ours ready by the time your plant is in operation, Mr. Andrews.
Probably you can.
May I ask Mr. McCarthy a question about their methods of sewage disposal in Midvale?
Oh, I'm sure this committee doesn't have time to go into all that.
May I ask about the typhoid epidemic that Midvale had in 1945?
Oh, that. There were only 40 cases.
May I ask about your city ordinances covering restaurant inspection?
Mr. Andrews, does the committee have time to go into all these things?
Well...
May I ask about the city ordinances governing milk inspections?
No, I don't think it's necessary. I think we've heard enough, gentlemen.
Right.
Do the rest of you agree?
Yes.
Now, Mr. McCarthy and Mr. Scott, if you'll wait in the anteroom, we'll let you know our decision in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us your time.
I felt a little sorry for McCarthy because he knew that he was fighting for a lost cause after we left the conference room. Of course, Orville was awarded the new $10 million plant. I wanted understood, however, that we weren't satisfied until we had built a sound program, so that now every one of our children, rich or poor, has the opportunity to go to his dentist for fluorine applications. That's the way we do things in Orville.
Today's program has been presented in cooperation with the American Dental Association. It is now my privilege to present Dr. Lon W. Morey, editor of the Journal of the American Dental Association, for a discussion of the causes and prevention of tooth decay. Dr. Morey.
Dental decay is one of the most complex of human diseases, and it is the most common affliction of modern man. It is found among all classes of our population. It is particularly rampant among children. More than 90 out of each 100 children suffer from decay of the teeth. For years, the control and prevention of dental decay has been a major goal of dental scientists. It is now known that there is a direct relationship between dental decay and sugar and other carbohydrates in the diet. Americans consume much more sugar in many foods, such as desserts and soft drinks and other sweetened beverages, than is compatible with good nutrition. This sugar, when it is in the mouth, is turned into acid by the action of enzymes. It is this acid which attacks the enamel of the teeth, thus starting the process of tooth decay. Once started, decay will continue until the tooth is lost, unless it is checked by the dentist. It is almost impossible to get people to stop eating the foods that they like. The discovery that sodium fluoride applied to children's teeth will prevent a large amount of dental decay in children is, therefore, one of the most significant advances made by modern dental science. As was explained by the dentist in the preceding story, we now know that a series of local applications of a sodium fluoride solution to the teeth of children will reduce decay from 40 to 50%. This treatment, however, must be done by the dentist. The American Dental Association recommends that all children be taken to their family dentist to receive this treatment at the intervals of 3, 7, 10, and 13 years of age. It is also possible that sodium fluoride may be added in very small amounts, that is 1 part per million, to community water supplies as another means of reducing dental decay. This method is now being tested. Results are as yet insufficient to warrant universal fluorination of domestic water supplies. The American Dental Association also strongly recommends that parents do not give their children various dietary supplements or tablets containing fluoride salts or use toothpaste containing fluoride. All children should receive early and frequent dental examinations so that decay can be discovered and checked before serious damage is done, and so that each child can receive the sodium fluoride treatment now recommended. Dentists also recommend that people eat only limited amounts of sugar, and that each person brush his teeth immediately after eating. These simple steps will aid the average person, and particularly the average child, to maintain a full set of healthy teeth.
Thank you, Dr. Morey.
Doctors Today is presented by the American Medical Association through the facilities of the National Broadcasting Company and its independent affiliated stations. This program is presented on behalf of the thousands of physicians who are working night and day to protect and preserve the lives of 141 million Americans. The American Medical Association invites you to join us again next week to hear another report on the progress of medicine and surgery in America. Doctors Today, written by William Murphy, comes to you through the facilities of the National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations. The orchestra is under the direction of Bernard Berquist, with original music composed by Emil Soderstrom. The entire production is under the direction of Norman Felton. Heard in the cast were Morris Copeland, Margaret Brayton, Jack Lester, Jess Pugh, George Kluge, Burr Lee, and Doris Scarlett. Your announcer is Henry Cook. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.